Now for our roundtable with our News Channel 5 political analyst Mary Anna Mancuso and Brian Crowley. Mary Anna, we'll start with you. It's so almost normal to talk about blocking and tackling of road building, criminal justice, and yet we're always reminded these days about the hot button issues, election reform, bright future scholarships, protest bills. Talk about the landscape we're in right now. Your thoughts?
There's a lot of things that we're wading through, and I would say be careful what you wish for. We were just talking about this the other week, and now we're seeing very traditional legislation coming through, with the exception of a couple bills, such as HB1, which is the anti-riot bill, as well as the Florida Bright Future Scholarship bill. So I think that it's kind of interesting to see us get back to things as normal as we possibly can when it comes to the legislature.
A non-COVID discussion today for a change. Brian, you covered Tallahassee for many years, a veteran political reporter there. Your thoughts on the landscape, the issues that I almost call old-fashioned issues, given that we spend so much time on the cultural wedge issues. Where are we? What's the landscape in your mind these days?
Well, the biggest thing will be is when they start discussing the budget in the coming weeks. They're halfway through the 60-day legislative session now. The surprises tend to come in the last week or so. I can guarantee you that there are some bills tucked away, some amendments tucked away that will pop up at the last minute. And often people don't even find out about them until after the session is passed, because they go through this rapid final couple of days of passing sometimes hundreds of bills in a matter of hours.
Brian, at the end of the day, it seems though, in terms of the public conversation, that the wedge issues continue to dominate. Your thoughts about that, where we are right now in terms of the public conversation that then helps drive the legislative one?
Well, I think some of the most interesting things that the public is focusing in on is the rioters legislation, the COVID, what the legislature is doing about COVID. I think those are the kinds of issues that the public is focusing on. And of course, really what everybody should be focusing on is what they tend to do to make voting more difficult for people. If they do anything like happened in Georgia last week, it's going to be a sad day for Florida voters.
Mary Anna, final thought in this segment.
I would echo Brian's sentiment regarding what's taking place in Georgia last week, as well as just paying attention to seeing all the students show up to try and push back against the Florida Bright Future Scholarship changing. And I think it's been fascinating to see that even though we've been under the pandemic, people are still being involved.